Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. We are starting a brand new show today for the channel. It's pretty obvious what the show is by the title and thumbnail of this video, The Batman. I decided to go with replacing the Spectacular Spider-Man. I know, sad, I hated the fact that that show ended, but I made the decision to replace the Spectacular Spider-Man on Saturdays with The Batman, because back when I had that poll replacing Wolverine and the X-Men on Sundays, the wild card Ben 10 won, like not by a landslide, but it was like winning the whole entire time. But the Batman was second. So I made the decision, I'm going to replace Spectacular Spider-Man with the Batman. And here we are starting this show, and I cannot wait to get into it. Because, of course, Batman, love the fucking character. My favorite comic book character of all time. So I can't wait to finally check out this series. Season 1, Episode 1, The Batman, titled The Bat in the Belfry. I had to look up that word because I'm like, doesn't look familiar, that word. Had to look up the pronunciation and what exactly does the word mean. And apparently something to do with bell tower. But anyways, the Bat in the Belfry. I'm excited to get into this because, like I said, I've been hearing over the years how good the show is. I've seen images from the show in terms of like people talking about the series and everything, but I've never sat down and watched it. So this is going to be interesting. You know, people are saying, you know, we think you're going to like it. And I think I will. I think I will because I love the Batman character. There may be some things I don't like about this series. I'm not sure. We'll find out as we get into it. But overall, I'm excited. I cannot wait. I've been, like I said, I've been hearing about the show. So now I get to sit here and actually discover it. Even though I'm not really discovering it because I'm not discovering it on my own. But you guys pushed for it and everything. It was really pushing to try to get the show to win the poll. Of course, it didn't. But I decided, you know what? We're just going to do it. We're just going to do the show. And there we are. So let's get into now, guys, the first episode of this show, The Batman. The Batman, or the Bat in the Belfry, not the Batman, the Bat in the Belfry. Anyways, let's go. Right away. Oh. You guys are stupid. Going into the darkness. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Split the take. He doesn't want your money. I like that shot. Okay, no way he would have survived that jump. I'm the Batman. That's why. Don't question it. Batmobile. Okay. Okay. Interesting design. Alfred. Whoa. Okay, that was cool. Is it his birthday?
I'm touched, Alfred. But my birthday isn't until October.
It's an anniversary, Master.
Oh.
3 years ago tonight, you first donned cape and cowl.
3 years ago.
Can you verify rumors that it was the Batman who
Nice
was
image.
crime boss Rupert Thorne and his
Yeah.
gang last night?
It was.
Do you know of anyone who's actually seen this Batman? Because he's what's called an urban legend.
Billionaire Bruce Wayne contributes an unprecedented sum to Gotham Children's Hospital.
Nice.
In sports, the Gators...
For the Batman to better remain below the radar,
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Wayne must occasionally venture above it.
Okay, that's a good point, Alfred. I'll give it to you.
Detective Ethan Bennett, meet Detective Ellen Yin, formerly of Metropolis PD.
Oh, Metropolis. Hello.
Partner. You're never far from the Batcave with the modern miracle of Batwave.
Batwave. Arkham. Okay. Okay.
What are you doing in here?
Uh-oh.
I was feeling a bit screw loose, so I...
Oh. Oh.
Who are you?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Oh my gosh.
Old Bats never leaves a trace. No prints, no follicles.
Because he's smart. He knows what he's doing.
Custom jobs.
Dude has resources.
Now, could either of them have seen that, like, thing? What is that? And he's watching the game. Jesus. I'm gonna run over by your own car, man. Careful. And you're getting rained on. Oh, I like that shot. That was nice. I'm liking the visuals of this show and the music, too. It's really good. Oh, it's a bomb. Oh, shit. Okay, okay. There's that guy, right? Yeah. Well,
Some laughing gas, Drag.
yeah.
Tell me you're not an inmate. Think this is a good look for me? Who are you?
Sure.
Joker. Not what? Who? Smear free. It's Permaclown. Ooh, tough crowd. I'm out of gas.
And I'm out of patience.
Oh. Okay, just dive into the water. Why not? Sure.
New partner. This town has happy days ahead.
Whoa. Careful. Oh. I thought it was gonna explode. Oh shit, face to face. Hello.
Right to remain silent.
He ain't gonna stop.
My old hideout's a shambles.
Oh, he's thinking back on what he was saying.
Find the old hideout. Am I under arrest?
Yo, Bruce.
Hey, Ethan.
Where you been, my friend?
Master Bruce was at the Gator game last night.
Yeah, sure.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
thought we were all set to shoot some hoops last week. But last night, I saw the Batman.
Only a meme.
So he's for real.
I really believe the Bat's helping Gotham. Even if he is on the wrong side of the law.
Well,
But he's getting a bad rap, and
Yeah.
it's on me to take him down.
If it's gas you want.
it's gas you'll get, right? Uh-oh. Ooh.
Smiles, people.
Smile. This is great.
Joker gas. And he's gonna pop it.
Oh.
For Gotham.
Wait till you get a load of mine.
Oh my gosh. He's so crazy. Hello. You weren't expecting that, were you?
Stop this thing, Joker. With one break.
No brakes. Oh my gosh, okay. Pull! Pull! Barely. Barely. A bat boat? Okay, he's got a bat boat. Why not? Oh, okay, but see, you better be careful, but he has that mouth guard thing or whatever.
223. New arrival.
Mm-hmm.
Check.
It's good you're good. It's good you're back to yourself again.
I needed help.
Well, yeah, you do.
Maybe I am a bit batty.
Batty.
With all the bats in my belfry.
Okay, so that was the first episode of The Batman, The Bat in the Belfry. I think this was a pretty damn good introduction to this show. I think they did a solid job of course, introducing this new Batman, like, right away. Just beating the crap out of these guys and, like, the audacity they think, okay, we're going to run into the dark to fight the Batman. Okay, that's not going to end well for you, but okay. It was really cool to see that. I like the intro. Like, the theme music was awesome. I was like, holy crap, this is great. It's, like, dark or whatever, and it's definitely a tone I wasn't expecting. But then, as the episode progressed, and I mentioned this in my reaction, and I made sure to keep it in the video, the music. I was commenting on, like, the music sounds great for this show. Like, I'm really enjoying what they're doing with this, with the music and everything, and the tone of it all. It was really, really cool. And so we had these two detectives, and I had to pull up their names because I'm like, it wasn't clicking in terms of like, okay, I remember that name. So Ethan Bennett, which actually is Clayface in the comics. I didn't recognize the name first. Ethan Bennett, who was an officer, and Ellen Yin, who's voiced by Ming-Na Wen. I'm like, is that Ming-Na Wen? Like, it sounded like her, but I wasn't 100% sure, and it was. Ming-Na Wen is Ellen Yin, and Ethan Bennett are tasked to go find the Batman. And what I liked was that they were asking the chief or whatever, and the chief is Edward James Olmos. Oh, no, the voiced in the pilot by Edward James Olmos. Sorry, Angel Rojas. I guess that's the police chief. I read that wrong. Sorry. But the thing is, the very first scene we've seen where Batman is taking out these criminals, they ask the chief on the news broadcast, and Bruce, of course, is watching, and asking about, did the Batman take care of these criminals? Like, that's just a myth. That's an urban legend. It's not real. The Batman's not real. So the idea of that the Batman up to this point, I think now it's a little bit different because now I think a lot of people saw him up there on that hot air balloon with Joker. But he's been seen as an urban legend for the past 3 years. He's been doing this for 3 years, so he's been around for a bit. And this whole idea that Gotham doesn't really know, like they think he's real, but they're not really sure. And then literally now Bennett, he has seen the Batman, and then he shows up to Bruce's house. I'm like, oh crap, did he do something? Because they made a point to say, or maybe it was before or after this scene, but they made a point to say that Batman, or I think it was before, but anyways, they made a point to mention that he doesn't leave prints or anything like that. Like, of course, because he doesn't want to be caught. Turns out Ethan Bennett knows Bruce. They've known each other for a long time, and he shows up. He's like, am I under arrest? I'm like, oh shit. He's like, and it's like, oh, he's like, hey Bruce, like, okay. And then he tells Bruce, I saw the Batman. Oh, what did he look like? Like me and you? I'm like, yeah, literally like you, Bruce. I liked Alfred in this episode as well. So far I like Alfred in the show. I like the fact that he, of course, is there for Bruce, and it seems like he's trying to help Bruce as well with like an alibi situation, because the whole point of this game, this basketball game, because he made a point to say, because Bruce was like, it's good. Batman is in the shadows underground, he's not in the spotlight. And then Alfred says, well, in order for that to work, Bruce Wayne needs to step out from under, underground and in the shadows to make an appearance, because there has to be a balance, kinda. Obviously, Bruce can never really truly balance Bruce Wayne and Batman, because truly he is Batman. But the fact is, like, Alfred's trying to help him with the sense of that, people are not going to put things together, because literally that Batmobile is really high tech, and then he has a Batboat. He has a bat boat. And I'm like, oh, okay. So the gadgets are not finished, because they were showing some of the gadgets he had and everything. But that Batmobile is really high tech, and then he has a really high tech bat boat. So people are going to they should be able to start piecing it together. There's a billionaire that's paying for all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But I thought they handled that pretty well in terms of the gadgets and showing the Batcave and everything, really like expansive Batcave. And showing the relationship, the dynamic between Bruce and Alfred, and the 3-year anniversary celebration of him becoming Batman and everything. Now, Joker. I had heard that John DiMaggio voiced Joker. I think it's John DiMaggio. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure remember it's him, yeah. I had heard that his Joker was different. And I think I've heard it like once or twice when I did like a Joker voice comparison video back then when they compared all the different voices of Joker. I believe I've heard his voice. But I got a real sense of it here. He had a lot of lines, and Joker was just bonkers as shit. And the design definitely is unique, but I think it kind of works for this show because like there's been so many other iterations in terms of like live action, Cesar Romero, of course, from the Batman and animated live action, but he's been animated as well, but other iterations of Joker throughout the years, so it makes sense to try to go a different direction. And the voice is slightly different, but I think he's just as nutty. He's just as crazy. Like, he openly goes to Arkham Asylum, and then he infects that guy with laughing gas, or whatever he'd call it. I think it's called laughing gas, but anyways. And he wants Arkham Asylum as his, like, place or whatever to have. And what I liked is that the first encounter between Batman, it seemed like this was the first encounter between Batman and Joker. I don't think they've met each other before. Just based on the conversation, essentially, it just felt like they've never truly met before. And what I liked is that after that first encounter, Bruce was thinking back on certain things that Joker was saying in terms of certain lines, like about his old, place that he used to be at or whatever. And then he started to piece things together. I thought that was a really cool concept to kind of show those moments again and have him go, and thinking it through or whatever. So that was pretty smart. And then the fact that Joker's whole plan was to get his laughing gas in a hot air balloon. It's all filled up in a hot air balloon, and he was going to ride the hot air balloon all the way. I said a blimp. It's a hot air balloon. Apologies for that. I noticed that during the reaction after I said blimp, it's a hot air balloon. But he was going to pop it on that statue with the sword pointing out, so it would have poked it and would have exploded. It would have covered the entirety of Gotham. I'm like, this is a pretty big, like, threat right off the bat, but I guess you have to make an impact because it is the first episode of the show, right? So that was really good. And in fact, of course, Joker was captured. This is just the beginning of the mayhem. But I really liked how they approached that. And the fact that at one point Batman tries to rub the white powder off his face. It's perma. I'm perma clown. It's like, okay. I mean, it makes sense. Like, who are you? And he's like, I'm not saying what are you, who are you? And he tries to wipe his face. Like, no, it's not going to come off. Like, I understand no one knows who this is, and no one's really supposed to know who he is, but still. It was definitely interesting for sure to see how they handled all of that. And the fact that right after Ethan is tasked with Ellen to try to find the Batman, he sees him right away. I thought that was funny because, like, no one had really seen the Batman before, so, like, he's an urban legend. And now, of course, I think he's not going to be an urban legend anymore. I think pretty much everybody saw him for the most part up in that hot air balloon with Joker. So, I don't know. Yeah, it was good. A good first episode. Can't really complain too much. They did a pretty solid job setting it up and also showing a lot of Gotham as well in terms of, like, a lot of the structure of Gotham in this series as well. So I'm curious to see where we go from here in terms of developing the story, because, you know, Ethan made a point to Bruce when he's talking about the Batman, and the Batman's right there. He thinks that the Batman's doing good. He's on the wrong side of the law because he's a vigilante, but he believes that the Batman is needed for Gotham. He's needed. And the whole conversation between Ethan and Ellen in the car about, you know, it's like, oh, that's a clown. The bridge and the attack on Arkham Asylum was him because of the wind-up toys, because they were clowns, of course. And then she's like, okay, well then why was the orderly, not orderly, why was that guy taken who was affected by the gas? He's like, well, maybe he needed help, which he did. She's like, okay, well, it makes sense, but still we have two perps. We still have this this criminal and a vigilante. So, I don't know. I feel like that's probably a storyline moving forward in terms of we're going to have to deal with the fact that he's going to be hunted by cops. And maybe to the point where, like, literally Ethan's going to fight back and go, I don't want to hunt down Batman, because he truly believes he's doing good, even though he's on the wrong side of how to handle it. But still, regardless, Batman's doing what he needs to do. But yeah, overall, enjoyed the first episode. I'm glad I checked it out. I'm glad I picked this show because I really liked the tone of it. I liked just how they set everything up. I was just like, this is good. Okay. So what did you guys think of the episode, the first episode of The Batman? I'm curious to know your thoughts, guys. Whatever thoughts you have, please let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed my first reaction to The Batman. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.